Good evening, everybody. First of all, I'm Coach Boyle. We want to welcome everybody for coming tonight. It's been a long year, but a very gratifying year for the CBD teams, as well as the varsity team. And, we just want to be here tonight to appreciate all the hard work and dedication that all the kids put in, because obviously it's 5 or 6 days a week, pretty much all year. Takes a lot of focus, takes a lot of energy, takes a lot of commitment, takes a lot of sacrifice. And it's really great to see the development in all the kids, not just on the court. A lot of times the discipline they develop and friendships they develop in sports end up leading to a better person, a better student, a better friend. And we see a lot of that here. I have had experience at other schools and working in other environments. And, this school, has a great culture overall. And you guys have really added to that and enhanced that. And we're very proud of you guys for doing that. We also want to recognize Mr. Bernatavich, okay, the Dean of Students, who just does a fabulous job. I mean, if your child does something good, immediately we hear about it. If there's ever a situation where there's somebody that needs to, kind of get a little more focused in the classroom or had a slight discipline problem, immediately Mr. Bernatavich is contacting our people, or the student does better in the classroom or understands what they might have done wrong behavior-wise and correct that. Secondly, we have Mr. Osterman here, who does a fabulous job with our Booster Club and raising money for the school. He's just done a terrific job of trying to add enthusiasm. And it's not easy in today's world where there's so many sports on TV and so much competition for your time and your attention. He's done a good job with us in the school, so we want to appreciate Mr. Osterman. And definitely we want to go to recognize Mr. Hotman and Mrs. Hotman. Mrs. Hotman is, does a lot of programs around school, working with kids and fellowship, and some of the kids that are involved in that. Some of the coaches and staff are involved, and just different Christian type fellowship, and it's something that's really beneficial to a lot of the kids and families. Furthermore, Mr. Hotman obviously has been running the school for a few years now, and everything's running outstanding at a very high level, and very confident that Montverde will continue to thrive how it has for the last 30, 40, 50 years in the right direction under his leadership. And lastly, tonight I want to recognize Coach Katuka. Coach Katuka has taken on a lot of responsibility for this event this year. And, there's a lot of things behind the scene, but he did a lot of work with that, with the assistance of Matt Cohen helping him with that. So they did an excellent job. So without more to say right now, I want to get into the award ceremony. First coach up is going to be Coach Elliott. Please come up, and he's going to recognize his team, and he's going to give some awards out.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Coach Elliott. I'd like to present you the players for this year's middle school team. We have Travis Mackey, Humphrey Tong, Mateo Figueredo, Owen Magnuson, Avi Varma, Monsuf Minus, Liam Kangrega, Grant McKee, Kylan Ramcharan, F.A. Kozin, and Geronimo Villarreal. A little bit about our teams. We had a regular schedule and we had our fall league this year. The teams did really exceptionally well, especially going in our fall league. We finished first place, finished at 11-1. And in our regular season too, we did well as well. We did well in that area, beating IMG the second year straight for middle school. So let me present you the awards. For Coach's Award, I give to Avi Varma. for most improved goes to Humphrey Tung. For Eagle Awards goes to Grant McKee. Next, I want to introduce Coach Matt Cohen.
How's everybody doing? Just want to talk to you guys about my freshman team. It was such a fun year with these guys. You'll see their faces in a second, and you all can probably look at them and be like, this is a crazy group of kids, but they were a lot of fun. We had a great time, so I'll call them all up. Nick Bianco, Gabe Aguilar, Julian Aviles, Jordan Montemayor, Enzo Fatone, Sebastian Wright, Kai Klassens, Sarav Desai, Sam Knight, Sebastian Jansen, Donovan Dyson, Saveli Dashanov. We'll see if we can get them to stand still for like a few minutes here. Like I said, this was such a fun group to have, just day in and day out, and a lot of smiles, a lot of laughs, and these guys keep me laughing. And then we really put a lot of work in. And the first thing about them I'll say is, they got actually very serious on game days or days before games, and just locked in and really focused on what we needed to do. And a lot of guys improved a lot. We finished with an 11-6 record, which was great, and won a lot of big. He beat us the first time. We came back and gathered as a group and beat them the second time to get our get back, and it was great. Just a really fun season. So I'll announce the awards. The Eagle Award. This guy was great all year. Really the go-to guy for us. Donovan Dyson. The most improved, this guy showed up here a few years ago, and I don't think he knew how to walk or put shoes on and shoot a basketball or anything. And now he's actually hitting threes and is able to handle the ball sometimes for us at the end of a game, which is pretty crazy. So, Saveli, most improved. The Coaches Award, this kid actually could have won the Most Improved or the Coaches Award, and that's a testament to him. I thought the Coaches Award was better for him because it's kind of, emphasizes who he is as a kid and is such a leader with this group, and it's fun to be around every day, and the guys listen to him, and the team goes with him, and he really got so much better throughout the year. Started a lot of games for us down the stretch. He might be the smallest one out there, but he's not scared of anybody. So Gabe Aguilar. Next, I want to introduce Coach Chris Spears.
Evening, everybody. I had the pleasure this year of being the JV White head coach. Before I talk about the team, I want to introduce them and bring them up here. That's still the freshman team. Rodrigo Romero, Yushin Nishida, Ben Savage. As I call your name, guys, please come up here, please. Joey Ferris, Raymond Azolosoki, Logan Sanchez, Yassine Rizzi, Geronimo Martinez Prasado, Ricky Wang, Zihan Lee, and Ryman Du. My big sitting all the way in the back. I'll echo a lot of what Coach Matt said. This is a great group to have. Really a lot of fun guys. This is a young group. Okay, we had 3 eighth graders playing in a very, very competitive JV league. Didn't result in a lot of the wins that we wanted to see, but a lot of what you want to see at the JV level is development, and I can look down the line and see a lot of development in a lot of ways. Ryman came in with us late. It's hard to come in late and know what to do and to gel with the team, but especially these last couple months after games have stopped, Ryman's been doing a great job, which is a testament to his own work ethic as well. And we did get a couple of highlights this year, a comeback win against The Rock in overtime with a couple great last key shots, buzzer beater by Raymond, and a win over JV goal, which I won't talk about because they're here in the audience. But again, a lot of great fun with these guys and a lot of great development, which is what we want to see and will translate to wins later in their life. So for the awards, the Coaches Award, again, he could have had Most Improved, he could have had Eagle Award, but this kid is somebody who came in day one as one of the youngest guys on the team, but the biggest leader. We split time as coaches between other different teams, and anytime I might have missed, he's stepping up and leading practices. I would hear reports back from the coaches, hey, how did practice go and everything? Man, Yassine really stepped up and led the group. He was walking everybody through the plays. He was being a real point guard, and for that, not only to be the youngest on the team, but one of the smaller guys on the team to step up and be a leader with some older guys in the group. And like I said, in a very, very strong JV SIAA league, that's a huge accomplishment for him. So Coaches Award, Yassine Rizvi. For the Most Improved Award, this guy, day one, I talk about work ethic with the whole group, but he stands above the rest. After the season's over and you have months before your next game, it's hard to stay focused. It's hard to stay focused and work hard when you don't have a game you're necessarily getting ready for. You have months ahead before the next time you put on a jersey. That hasn't changed with this guy. The last couple months between March all the way into May, with a couple days left in the year, he's still working out as if he's got a game the next day and his team needs him to drop 20. So our Most Improved this year is Raymond. Hey, we're going to move on to JV Purple. So next I want to introduce Coach Wright.
Good evening, I am Coach Wright, and I had the pleasure of coaching our JV Purple team this year. I would like to invite our Purple team to join us on stage as I call your name. Ravin Anand. Sebastian LaCroix. Poon Tiantanu. Justice Borchers. Jasper Zane, Alex Frederick, Devin Sony, Jesse Barnhill, Makis Miala, Eli Zevi, and Danny Garcia. Our team this past season consisted of all new players. Not only all new players, all but one were new to Montverde Academy. We got off to a strong 3-1 start, including beating our arch rival, IMG. We were hampered a little bit by the injury and illness bug throughout the season, which had an impact on our overall record. Nevertheless, every player remained steadfast and continued to work hard and persevere, and for that I'm proud. And now I'd like to announce our superlatives. Our Coaches Award goes to Poom Tiantanum. Our Most Improved goes to Alex Frederick. And our Eagle Award winner is Jesse Barnhill. And now I'd like to welcome Coach Elliot Hewley.
Hello again. It's Coach Reed. Krishna Dwarika, David Key, Eddie Rutaru, Dyson Smith, Jeremiah Gordon, Dylan Layton, and Milenko Kubias. A little bit about this team. In the beginning of the season, the team started out a little bit rough and shaky, but with some consistency and just putting our heads down and just trusting the process, within January, the team started picking up, winning key games, even making that push into SIAA playoffs, and the team finished pretty solid. Now I present you the awards for this year. For Coaches Award, that goes to David Key. Most Improved goes to Dylan Layton. For Eagle Award goes to Onyx Reed. White.
Them up here before I talk about them. Takeem Williams, Demir Demiralp, Andreas Kavakis, Zachary Haynes, Kareem Alami, Bradley Michelle, Imangali Imbergen, Pedro Salgado, Akani Sitole, Angel Barriga, Stephen Paczynski, and Ivan Polishuk. Also, Jeremiah Gordon and David Key were a huge part of our team this year. They played both ways and really provided us something in the middle of the season. So I wanted to give them some recognition as well. Just want to talk about my team a little bit because this was a really special year for me, not only as a person, but also professionally involved with basketball. And I can honestly say I get up every morning and I come in here and knowing I have these guys coming in at 9:30, 9:45, it really makes me love my job. It makes me love being back involved in the Montford family in such a way because these guys from the start of the year to now have practiced so incredibly hard and given such an effort to not only becoming better players on their own, but to like gelling together. These guys really like each other. They're really down to earth kids. And I think, they're going to have an amazing season next year when their respective teams being major contributors in their own right. We had a really good season. I mean, we really, we struggled at first. We had some tough times. We ended up winning 10 of our last 13, and really to this day are still practicing like it's mid-season because these guys understand the importance of preparing for next year, preparing for the next thing, and enjoying every day and not wasting opportunities to compete. And that's really what the Center for Basketball Development is all about. So I think these guys really encapsulate the spirit of CBD in such a way that, again, I love coming to work every day, dealing with these guys. So as far as our coaches' awards go, I want to recognize a handful of guys here. First, my most improved player was a guy who started the year really struggling to finish, struggling with his post game, but really stayed committed to finishing layups and being active all the time and getting better every single day. I'd go out to the outdoor court and see him working on his handle, working on his game. And that's Iman Imbergen. Secondly, the Coaches Award, this goes to a guy who, could have packed it in, went home back to his country and, said America was fun, but I'm done. He had 4 games where he played a total of 8 minutes at one point. And by the end of the season, he was a guy I couldn't take off the court. The Coaches Award is for Steven Paczynski. This next award, the Eagle Award, again, it goes to a guy who really put his all into our team this year and really made the team his identity. He's a guy who comes to work every single day and gives it his all and wants to win, wants to be good. But most of all, he wants to be a positive impact on everybody. And that's Akani Sitole. And before we go, there's an award that we've never given before, but I think it was really called for this year. This next player has dealt with a lot of adversity in his time at CBD, but he's never wavered, he's never gone, he's never thought about leaving, and he's just continued to work as hard as he can to get to a certain level where he can give it his all every day and improve. And I really want to recognize this guy for overcoming injury after injury. Bradley Michelle is the Comeback Player of the Year. Next, I want to introduce CBD Purple coach Shay Fian.
Good evening. How we doing? I'm Coach Shay Feehan, head coach of Varsity Purple. I'm going to go ahead and start getting my guys up here. All right, first we got Paiute Asawasawanarant. I did. Burke Asti. Meli Basatli. Sean Booker. Diego Brito. Luca Campos, Yassine Haddad, Zach Knight, Nat Lertipistical, and Pedro Zanoni. All right. First of all, I could talk about this group for a while, but I'm going to make it short. Love this group. They dealt with a lot of adversity. I mean, they're not the biggest group. You know, I told them before the season, and I would tell them before every game, hey, we're not the biggest team. We're not the strongest team. We got to fight. We got to scrap. We got to claw. And they bought into that. And a highlight of our season, 2 highlights. Midst of the season, about 9 out of an 11-game stretch, we won 9 games. And probably 6 of those teams were teams that beat us early and probably pretty bad. So we really, you know, got better every day. These kids really bought in, and I want to thank them too because they allowed me to coach them. At times I was really hard on them, really trying to get everything out of them. So I really appreciate, you know, them letting me coach them. Another highlight, we had a buzzer beater. We put a team from Lake Wales out by Tampa. They came here. We had a great, Paiute had a great buzzer beater. I didn't call a timeout. We got the rebound, got down the court. He made a floater at the game, stormed the court. So that was a big highlight of the season. For our Eagle Award, this is a kid that, like I said, really allowed me to coach, you know, them really hard, and he was a great leader for the kids, and he was one of the youngest kids in the team, actually, and, you know, he dealt with a lot. You know, he had a lot of pressure on him. He was on the court. I couldn't take him off the court. You know, he wanted to guard the other team's best player. You know, even when I would really try him, he would always, yes, sir, coach, yes, sir. So Eagle Award, Diego Brito. Our Coaches Award, this is somebody it was his first year in the States playing basketball, actually 4 or 5 kids. It was their first year playing basketball in the States. Told him to touch that chair, and he would just do it and then come back to me, okay, coach, what do you want me to do next? It was awesome. Coaches Award, Meli Tariq Basali. All right, and last award, this is somebody who has been in the program for a while. Everybody, top to bottom, knows them, coaches, players. You know, we really butted heads a little bit at parts of this year, but, you know, he knew I was always in the right place with him, and, you know, I know he was always in the right place too. So most improved player, Sean Booker.
Hello, everybody. BJ Watson. First, like to start this off by I want to give a thank you to my wife. We moved out here from Kansas City, Kansas. Like Coach Boyle said, we spent a lot of nights in the gym, opening the gym up for the boys, a lot of times in practice. She's always held it down for me and never got upset at me for being in the gym too much. So thank you, baby. Okay. Next, I want to like to also give a shout out to the varsity team national. Got to help them out a little bit. Remember last year it was tough, but super proud of y'all boys for coming back and taking it all. So I want to introduce my squad now. Vigo Eduardo Lil. Thatcher Corn T.Y. Kills. Chayapak Korsaptwi, Alexander Mounty, Oscar Amatoba, Camilo Rios, Julius Kamani, Mason Pandolph, Brendan Whittington, B-Wit, Jeremiah Matruglio. This group is really special just because this is basically my core group from last year. So it was really exciting just to get to coach the team from last year. We kind of had a little chemistry already. Some highlights of the season. We played 4 post-grad teams in post-grad games, 20-minute halves, and we went 3-1. The boys, we feel like we had a really tough schedule and we had a winning record. Three of our boys got the chance to practice with the varsity team, Oscar, Alex, and P, and they held their own. If you ever watched the varsity, I'll start off with my coach's award. This kid, people may have thought it was a tough choice or didn't think he would be able to handle the varsity gold team, but I kind of pleaded saying I needed him. And also I thought I would be a great coach to be able to help him develop for future years here to come with Coach Boyle. Julius Kamani. All right. For my most improved, my day doesn't start until me and this kid interact. It starts off with me saying, P, and he says, Coach BJ. P had an incredible year. I think he did have the CBD, or we'll just say he had the high scoring record for the year here at CBD this year with 42 points. He had 11 threes. And Coach Boyle did say he owes him a pair of shoes, so we're going to hold him to that. All right. So my most improved is Chayapak Korsaptui. All right, and my Eagle Award, it's no surprise this kid spends unlimited amount of time in the gym, practice in the mornings, after school, works out with Coach Joe, works out on the backcourt, and it's played with post-grad this year, got moved up. So I'm just incredibly proud of his development, and I just think he has a chance. We've talked about he practiced with the varsity team, he held his own, and I just hope he continues to put the work in and great things will come for him. Alex Muncie. I also want to give a shout out just to the rest of my boys. We had a bunch of injuries. Eddie broke his hand to start the season. Mason, just when he was finding his groove, he tore his ACL first game of the second half. Camilo was coming back off an injury as well. T worked his tail off. I'm just super incredibly proud. Jeremiah messed up his shoulder to start the year, so he didn't even get a chance to play his senior year. But I'm super just proud of all you guys. And I would want to introduce Coach Gio Woods.
Hello, everybody. Coach Gio. I'm just going to bring up the post-grad team real quick. Jacob White, Matthias Bailey, Caden Bedard, Khalil Stillman, Adam Squire, Alex Parada, Jet Wells, and Deshaun Williamson. Just a quick little note about our team. As you can see, the numbers are very short. We dealt with a lot of adversity this year. We started out with a team full of, I think, 10, 11 players, and by October, we were down to about 7 or 8. But these core group of guys stuck together. When those injuries happened and the subtraction came from our team, we went on a 10-game winning streak. So that just shows a lot about these guys. They stuck together, and they fed off of each other to kind of keep building their personalities, their character, and also their basketball game. So I really appreciate you guys, and like I say every day, I love you guys to death, okay? With our awards, my most improved award, this kid dealt with a lot of injuries. He was here my first year, 3 years ago. He came late to the school. He had injuries then, and then he got better, and then this year, early on in the year, he got hurt again. He was out for about a month earlier in the season, and then he just kept working. Became one of the biggest pieces of our team, and that's Jet Wells. My Eagle Award, these two guys, I got two of them. These two guys took the brunt of our build this year. I put a lot of pressure on them to carry our team, and I thought he did a really good job with it. That's Adam Squire and Jacob White. All right, and then my last award is my coach's award. This kid, he's a player that every coach wants. He wants to, if he can run through a wall for you and play with his broken nose. He was the youngest guy on our team. He's going to have a really bright future, not in just basketball, but in life. He's a really bright kid, and that's Caden Bedard. All right, now I'd like to introduce Kevin Boyle Jr.
Hello, everybody. Firstly, before we introduce the varsity guys and bring them up here, I'll let Coach Boyle come up and read off the awards and then say his own piece. But like some of the guys mentioned, obviously, you know, it's a job doing this here. A lot of schools you guys come from, a lot of basketball around the country, there's rules where you can't even start playing until October, November, that sort of thing. So when it's August, everyone's excited, you know, the first 2 or 3 weeks here always. And as the year goes on, it becomes more and more work, and especially when the season's up and down. For us, it was a special year where we felt like we were supposed to win every game, but there's a pressure that comes with that too. And, you know, when it got into the second half of the year and every day you're tired and, you know, it's tough waking up in the morning, you know, I would tell myself probably like every day for the last 2 months, like, we're probably not going to have a year like this for a really long time. So don't get through practice, try to enjoy it. Even like me, before the games, I'm not trying to enjoy the game or, you know, I'm very tense. There's probably about 30 seconds or 45 seconds before every game where I kind of tried to look around and realize these guys who were here for multiple years know it's almost been like a 2 or 3 year buildup for some of them to get to this moment and, you know, what we did at the end of the year. So it was an effort from everybody, and if they didn't have the attitude that they had, you know, the team wouldn't have been held together, had great practices. As much as the seniors probably got a lot of playing time, there's been years where the group that's coming up behind them, you know, almost hurt the team by not being competitive and strong enough in practice. And every day, those guys really made it a challenge where you didn't have a sense that, you know, we need 2 or 3 more older guys off the bench so practice is more competitive. They all did a great job, and even the last couple of weeks, every young guy's out playing AAU, and all the work you guys have put in this year and maybe didn't get all the minutes, you're seeing how much success you're having from going against the older guys. So, you know, overall a great year, and, you know, thanks for your contributions, everybody. So first, I'll read off the team. Robert Wright III. Tiani Miller. Curtis Givens. Gabe Nesmith. Ace Flagg. Lucas Lima. Caden Allen. Derek Queen. Liam McNeely. Cooper Flagg. Oh, Caleb Gaskins. Oh, what the heck? Oh, sorry, I'm reading off this paper. Asa Newell.
All right, first of all, we want to recognize a few guys with different awards. I think the biggest thing about this team was they didn't care about awards, and that's what made it a special team. And again, I've been around high school basketball for 35 years, probably the last 25, being around a lot of times the best players in the country at some point in the season and the best teams. And these guys, again, could legitimately have an argument that they were as good as any high school team that ever played. They'll be in that argument. They won 7 games against the final top 5. That means beating most of them twice. And they won 14 games against the final top 10. So I guarantee you nobody who's in that argument has ever won half that many games against the top 10 as they've done. But the biggest thing was they really cared for each other. I would have felt awful if they didn't win. Obviously, you're disappointed and you don't win, but the way they really got bonded as a group off the court and their friendships, a lot of times you go to high school and you leave with 1 or 2 friends. I think a lot of these guys are going to have 6, 7 friends that they'll stay friends with 10, 15, 20 years from now, which is really rare. Again, you probably have 1 or 2 people you stay in touch with from high school. Maybe 3 is a lot. This group, I'd be shocked if it's not all 6 or 7 or 8 of the older guys and probably some of the younger guys that stay connected through their lives in and without basketball. Now, a few awards. First one is the unsung hero. To me, he was the glue and as important as anybody. Again, a lot of times we talk about our seniors and they wouldn't always give him the respect that he deserved. He's truly one of the best players in the country, and he is clearly the best defensive guard in the country. In the championship, not only did he have 24 points in the national final, but he guarded the best player on the other team who was killing people, and a guy going to Duke, Harris, and he just locked him up. I mean, he couldn't touch the ball after we put Curtis on him. And again, he was as important as anybody to the team and as valuable as anybody. The unsung hero, Curtis Givens. The next award, they termed it the Heart of a Champion, and he was, the one new guy to the group that hadn't been here the year before. He had told us a year before he was coming, and we went to Hawaii, and we got upset by somebody, and his team won the tournament there. And he's just a dynamic guard. He helped us score almost 90 points a game because he was so fast and so unselfish, and just was, a tremendous, tremendous player. And I think he's had a really good experience here. I see him all over campus, living in the dorms, and just really engaging with kids that are on the team, but also other kids from different sports and different ages. He seems to have really embraced Montverde and the experience. So important for our team to help us offensively, ignite us to be able to be a high-firing, scoring team. And so many times he hooked up with guys for dunks in transition. And I think so many times him and Asa hooked up, running the court or lobbing over the top. That was special highlights. All right, Rob Wright. Good man. The next award goes to a Scholar Award, and this is something that, was not an easy award to pick because we had a number of guys in that 3.5 range and above on the same team, which doesn't always happen with teams I've had over the years. So it was an outstanding academic group. This next guy, amazingly, usually when I talk about our school to people or about kids coming here or asking questions, I almost always bring him up, not just for his athletic ability and his development, but for the fact that he just graduated the other day with an associate's degree. So he's graduating with a college associate's degree and a high school degree, which is probably like 3 kids in America that play basketball are doing that. So besides being one of the best players in the country, an All-American basketball player, played on USA teams, he was on the USA select team versus the world, just a great person and terrific player, but an unbelievable student, Asa Newell. The next award, it goes to a most improved player. And again, one of the things we try to do with you guys at the CBD as well as these guys, we take a lot of pride in seeing guys get better and develop. And it's not always the older guys. A lot of times it's younger guys. You see some guys that came in and maybe they barely played in whatever country they came from, and you see them go from a guy that really struggled to run, catch, understand anything, and develop, and that's very rewarding. I started coaching 8th grade basketball, and to this day, probably the third most rewarding team I coached was my 8th grade team that finished in 3rd place. But they went from one year to the next year, such good development. And only one of those guys went on to play in college, but they all are doing well. I stay in touch with a lot of them today, and it was really a rewarding team. And this team, you say the most improved player, a guy that came in with a big reputation, and then kind of started looking like he was going backwards a little, but he was really taking a step back to go 2 or 3 steps forward. You could have argued this year, he finished 6th in the Mr. USA Basketball Player of the Year. So a group of 10 writers voted on the best player in the country, and he came in 6th of all the players. He was the MVP of the McDonald's All-American game, was a step away from being the MVP of the Jordan Brand All-American game, and he's a guy that just got himself in shape and knew he could have left here as a junior. He was barely playing, even though he was talented, because he just needed to play harder and get in better shape, and he knew he needed to be here, and he never quit. And at the end of this year, he was as good as any player in America, and he's, because of his versatility, he's as valuable as a recruit going to University of Maryland, Derek Queen.
I'm so thankful.
The next award goes to the legacy is outstanding in multiple ways, not just on the court, in the classroom. And we know his legacy is going to be felt here after he leaves here and wherever he goes, the way he carries himself. An incredible competitor. And I used to say that, this guy and the other team is the best shooter in the country. We got to guard him. And he would say, no, I am. So we would have our little arguments with that. But he had a lot of confidence in himself, and he had a tremendous year. He was he did a lot of things for us, but he really spaced the floor with his shooting ability. But as his career grew, he started getting to the rim and dunking and, rebounding. And next year he's going to be going to UConn. He was the MVP of the Jordan All-American game. So we had the MVP of the McDonald's game, and we had the MVP of the Jordan game. Of the 4 MVPs, we've had 2 of the 4 MVPs. They recognized one from both teams in those games from Montverde. Liam McNeely. The last award tonight is the Most Valuable Player Award, and again, very deserving of it, but amazingly, I'm saying this without just saying it, it's real. We probably had 2, 3, 4 people that could have been in this argument, at least that, because it's who had the most valuable of the team, not necessarily who was the best. The last guy, got a number of National Player of the Years. He got the Naismith Award as the best player. He got the Gatorade Award as the best player. He got Mr. USA Basketball. And Mr. USA Basketball and the Naismith Award, Montverde players now have gotten 5 of the last 10. In the 50-year history of the Naismith Award, no high school has ever had 2 from one high school, and we've had 5 National Player of the Years in the last 10 years from Montverde. So it's kind of, just incredible that that's happened, incredible the talent that's come through here and how they've worked to deserve those awards. But next year, going to Duke, Cooper Flagg. The last award tonight, each year we like to recognize a CBD coach for their job and who was the coach of the year. And it doesn't go by who has the best record. We think who connected with the kids the best, who maybe made the most improvement during the year, or which coach came the furthest from the year before. Okay, and this year, the coach that we're recognizing did a really good job. And last year at times I was saying, I don't know if he should get more into different areas of basketball. And this year he just really stepped up in coaching. He organized a lot of the afternoon workouts and was the point person in a lot of those. And he just did a terrific job. Matt Cohen.
Oh, we gotta take a pic? We're taking a picture?
When we leave tonight, shortly, in the back, there's pizza and refreshments. Again, please take a slice or two. If there's more at the end, then, I don't know how many pies Joe got, but maybe he got 30 or 40 pizzas, but we have a lot of people. So take a slice or two at the most. Make sure everybody gets some, and then if there's extra, you can go back for more, but please be respectful of that. Again, you guys had a very good year. We want to build on it. But what most of you guys need to understand, if you're going to get better, it's what you do in the next 3 or 4 months when you're out of school. Did you get what the coaches taught you? Are you putting that into action every day? We all have a plan to get better, but it's who actually takes action and who has their workout program in the mirror in front of them. When I was your age, it was right in the mirror. When I woke up, you couldn't miss it. And you can't start tomorrow. You got to start today. Tomorrow never gets here. It's a week, and you got to have it doesn't have to be basketball, but you've got to have a passion for something so you could excel in something, and you got to have that passion, and everything in life is paying attention to details and whatever you have that passion for. And if you do and you're committed to it, you're going to have great success. But to the parents, we thank you very much for choosing Montverde. Hopefully you choose to come back again. If you have any concerns, our door is open. We'd love to talk to you. If you have any suggestions, we won't be insulted. If they're done correctly, we have no problem to listen to see if there's different ideas. Occasionally, sometimes people come up or coaches come up with different ideas that, times are changing or things that can make it better or more exciting. We're willing to listen. We want to make it as good as we can make it. But again, we want to thank everybody for coming, and hopefully we'll see you again soon or next year. Bye-bye.